Are you travelling to Thailand soon? Has your hotel told you that they are no longer taking the payment for the 3 required COVID tests? Are you confused? In today's video, I will show you how to pay for these tests now with a new system called PSAS. Hi, I'm Andrew. I've got some further information about Phuket Sandbox that I want to share with you. But before we get started, if you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button. Okay, so a few of you got in touch with me and you told me that the COVID tests that you need to pay for before applying for your COE wasn't as straightforward because you contacted your hotel and your hotel staff told you that they can't take the payment anymore. What you now need to do from the 1st of August, you need to use a system which is called PSAS, which stands for Phuket Swab Appointment System. And in today's video, what I'm going to do is log into the system, show you what you need to do. Before we log into the PSAS system, there's just a few other things that I want to tell you that you need to do in advance. You need to book your Shah Plus hotel and you need to have already received your Shaba QR code. Also, you need to have already booked your flights and you need to have your flight numbers ready. Right, let's log in to the PSA website. So the website address is thailandpsas.com. And the first thing you need to do is create an account. I've already done that. Once you've created an account, you then click on the blue button which says create an appointment. Okay, so once you're in there, there's 2 options available. You can either click make new appointment if it's just for yourself as an adult, or there's make new appointment as a guardian if you've got children that are traveling with you. We're going to click make new appointment. So once you're in there, this is step 1. And the first thing you need to do is input your Shaba ID. Now, say for example, you're traveling for 14 days, but you're going to spend half of the time in one hotel and half of the time in a second hotel. You need 2 Shaba IDs. Of course, if you're just staying at one place for 14 days, you're only going to need 1. But for the purpose of this exercise, what we'll do is we'll do an example where it looks as if you're staying at 2 hotels. Right, okay, so I've got a test ID here, so we'll put these IDs in. And click Get Shaba Info. Okay, so once you've clicked Get Shaba Info, this should bring up your details. So you can see Shaba ID on the left, title, first name, middle name, last name, and then it's got your check-in date and your checkout date. So you can see this person, as an example, is checking into one hotel on the 17th, checking out on the 20th, and then moving to another hotel from the 20th of August until the 31st. What you then need to do now is you need to input your flight details. Now the first box here, it says flight arrival date. This date needs to be the date that you arrive in Phuket. So say for example, your flight is leaving London on the 16th of August, but it's a night flight. You would arrive the next day on the 17th. So in this box, arrival date, you put the date you arrive, which is the 17th of August. And then you need to put in the arrival time. So when you click this button, there'll be a clock. So you need to manually put in the time. So we'll say that we're going to arrive at 1:30. And that's PM. So remember to change the time from AM to PM if you need to. Then click close, and then you need to put your flight arrival number. So the example we'll use is that we're flying with Qatar, and you need to put the full flight number, so QR840. if you forget to put the 840, you wouldn't be able to verify the flight details, so you must remember to do that. And then the next box, your departure date. So this is the date that you are departing from Phuket to return home or to your next destination. So that is the 31st of August. And then again, we need to put the departure time in there. So we'll say that's 2:30 a.m. Okay, and then what we do is we click verify flight info, and you can see there's a green tab at the bottom that says verify flight info success. That pops up and then disappears just to confirm that the flights have been verified. Once you've done that, click next, and that takes you to step 2, where you need to fill in your information. So we've got gender, we'll use male, and then you need to put in your date of birth. Okay, and then you need to choose your country, so we'll put United Kingdom, and then your passport number. And click next. Okay, now at this point you can see step 3. On this page on the left you can see a map of Phuket, and it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the map. This is highlighting where the swab centres are on the island. So you can see at the top, number 1, that's in Mai Khao in the north of Phuket. Then we've got 2, which is in Laguna, Sheng Talay. And then we've got Patong, Jung Silon, number 3. Number 4, we've got Kata, the Kata Centre. And then we've got 5, which is Phuket Town. So what happens here in step 3 is that depending on the dates that you've put into the system, it automatically allocates when you'll need to go for your swab test 2 and swab test 3. Of course, the date that you arrive, you have a swab test at the airport, but you don't need to input a date for that because it happens automatically when you arrive. So if you're familiar with Phuket, then you might have an idea of which swab centre is going to be the nearest to your hotel. But if you're not sure, just make a quick phone call or send an email to your hotel and just ask them where the nearest swab centre is, and they'll give you the information. Once you've got that information, what you can then do is you can then book swab test 1. Now, if you're staying in one hotel for the full 14 days, you're probably going to want to book both swab tests at the same centre. But say, for example, if you're spending your first 7 days in Kata, then you're going to have to book at number 4 at Kata, and then of course if you're then moving to Patong, you'll need to remember to book your swab test at number 3. Of course, it's your choice. You can go to any swab test centre that you want, but it's just more convenient if you book the one that's nearest to the hotel that you're staying at. So let's say we're staying in Kata, so what we'll do is we'll book an appointment at the Kata Centre, and then it brings up swab times. So if you look at the times here, you can see 9:30 and then 39. So that's how many appointments are available. So we'll book for 11 o'clock. And then on the 28th, let's imagine that we're staying in Patong. So what you'll do is then book the next swab test at Jung Silon, and you then need to input the time. So we'll go for the same time again, and we'll choose 11 o'clock. Then once you've done that, you've got the option to request a medical certificate. Say, for example, if you're coming to Thailand long term and you don't plan on leaving for a few months, you might not need the medical certificate. It's just a printout, just confirming your COVID test results. But if you do plan to leave 14 days or sometime like that after you've arrived, you will probably need a COVID test before returning back to your home country. So you'll need to print this document just to prove that you had a negative result on day 12. So I'm not going to click that box. We'll just imagine that you're coming in, you're staying long term, and then we'll just click next. And that's it. Once you click next, it then takes you onto the payment page, and you can see here the total amount is 8,000 baht. What you would do is just choose your payment option and then continue to payment and input your card details. Once that's gone through, you'll then receive a receipt, and the receipt that you receive, you must upload that as part of your COE application to confirm that you've made the payment. Okay, I hope that was useful, and I hope that helps you to understand the process with regards to what you need to do now to pay for these COVID tests. Now, a few people have sent me messages recently asking about the possibility of staying in Phuket for 7 days and then moving over to Koh Samui. Now, I'm not sure yet what will happen, but because this is called Phuket Swab Appointment System and it only has the Phuket test centres on there, my understanding at the moment is you would just pay for your first COVID test if you were staying in Phuket for 7 days. And then after 7 days, if you were moving to Koh Samui, I imagine at the moment, because there's not a system like this set up for Koh Samui, I imagine it would be the same process as before, where you would make the payment of 2,800 baht to the hotel that you choose in Koh Samui. But keep your eyes peeled and I'll keep my ears open, and if I hear any news about that, I'll definitely share that with you. But as always, thanks for watching, and if you do have any questions, leave them in the comments, and have a good day.